It was an early spring morning in Brookhaven, a small commuter town where nothing ever really happened. Rows of pastel houses lined the street like polite teeth. Lawns freshly cut, bicycles leaning against porches. At 7:18 a.m., Emma Carter, 26, sat at her vanity mirror, dabbing concealer under tired eyes. Her phone buzzed with a reminder. First day at the new job. A deep breath, a sip of coffee, a hand reaching for a slim glass bottle, the perfume she'd splurged on the week before. She liked the way it made her feel, a hint of cedar and citrus, a small armor of confidence. She pressed the nozzle. A fine mist rose, catching in the slant of morning light. One spritzed to her neck, one to her wrist. For a second, everything was normal. The scent, the soft click of her closet door. Then, an itch in her throat. A scratch, a metallic taste. Her breath catching, chest tightening as though an invisible cord was pulling it shut. She staggered back, clutching the vanity perfume bottle rolling off and clinking on the hardwood. By 7:26 a.m., a neighbor heard a crash. Emma lay on the carpet, gasping faintly, skin flushed. Paramedics found her phone still open on a text to her mom. "Wish me luck today." The perfume bottle stood upright where it had landed, its cap slightly cracked, liquid beading at the rim like sweat. Yellow tape went up by noon. A once ordinary bedroom turned into a silent crime scene. Investigators photographed the bottle, swabbed the nozzle, sealed it in evidence bags. Her roommate, Kara, sat at the kitchen table, hair unbrushed, hands trembling as she gave her statement. She told officers she'd found Emma like that she had no idea what happened. Brookhaven wasn't used to this kind of story. By evening, news trucks lined the street. Neighbors whispered in driveways. True crime forums speculated bad batch, allergic reaction, contaminated shipment. But the toxicology report came back clear. No known allergens. What it did show was worse. A lethal organophosphate, the kind used in pesticides and banned decades ago. Someone had added it, drop by drop, to the perfume. Detectives started with the obvious. Co-workers, ex-boyfriends, online stalkers. Nothing. Emma had only lived in Brookhaven for 3 months. She kept to herself, posted photos of coffee and sunsets, no feuds, no grudges. The only constant was Kara, the friendly roommate who'd advertised the spare room online, who'd helped Emma move in, who'd offered to split utilities. Weeks stretched. Emma remained in a medically induced coma, her lungs struggling. Meanwhile, detectives pulled security footage from pharmacies, delivery companies, the perfume boutique downtown. On one grainy clip, a familiar silhouette appeared, Kara, alone, returning to the store where Emma had bought her perfume. She wasn't buying. She was at the counter asking about a refill on the same brand. The deeper they dug, the stranger the pattern became. 2 towns over, a similar case. A woman collapsed after using a scented body spray. Unsolved. 3 years earlier, another, hair serum laced with toxin, marketed as a gift. Each time, the link was thin but real. Kara had lived nearby under a different name. She had a history of slipping into women's lives, blending in, then watching them fall. One rainy Thursday, detectives served a warrant. They entered the small 2-bedroom house quietly, cameras rolling. Kara sat at the kitchen table again. Same spot, same unbrushed hair, as they opened a hall closet. Inside, a cardboard box filled with glass bottles. Labels peeled, droppers, gloves, notes in a spiral notebook. Test dose, no smell. Test dose, delayed onset, dates, names, addresses. The notebook read like a manual for a long, patient crime. She hadn't just poisoned Emma, she'd practiced. On the vanity in Emma's room, detectives found a second bottle. Identical to Emma's favorite scent, but slightly heavier. Inside, a faint green sheen clung to the glass. Kara was arrested that afternoon, led out under a grey sky, camera shutters clicking. At first, she denied everything. Then she smiled, a small, satisfied smile, as if she'd been waiting for the moment someone finally noticed. Emma survived, but with scars no one could see. Her sense of smell was gone, her confidence shattered. She moved out of Brookhaven quietly, leaving behind the pastel street, the vanity mirror, the bottle now sealed in an evidence locker. But every morning when she reaches for lotion or face cream, her hand hesitates. The memory lingers, how something beautiful, something meant to make her feel safe and seen, was turned into a weapon. Brookhaven still talks about it, a whisper in coffee shops, a warning to daughters and sisters. Check the seal, don't share your cosmetics, trust but verify. They thought perfume was harmless. They thought the danger would smell different. But danger doesn't always come in a stranger's hands. Sometimes it's left on your dresser, waiting for you to breathe it in.